alternative talk radio. Get ready, America, for Deadline Live with your host, Jack Blood. Deadline Live is the daily wrap-up for those too busy in the daily grind to discern and dissect the news, while the so-called mainstream media buries the truth. Jack Blood uncovers it, exposing the lies that our trusted government officials do not want us to know. And now, please welcome Jack Blood.
For the information war, second hour of Deadline Live coming your way this 21st day of April 2009. I'm Jack Blood, your narrator, your radio gun reporting for the next hour. We're on the air Monday through Friday, 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. Central Time. That would be 4 to 6 p.m. Eastern Time at various time zones throughout the world. Our archives are back up. Now, after every show, they're free. And you can go to, I don't know, where do I send you? AmericanFreedomRadio.com? All right. Or try WFURadio.com. I know that's still going. And, well, why not go to Global Truth Network? Okay. They're out there, and I believe you can also find them at deadlinelive.info. That is our website. All revamped now. Looks awesome. There is a ton of information on there. That could be your home site. That could be the first site you go to every day to find out what the news is. I'd like you to use it. We work very hard on it. And, of course, as always, I want to thank Kristen, our webmistress, for doing such a fantastic job. Go check out Deadline Live TV. It's free. Everything is free there. You can find this show. You can listen to the show live. So that's one website I know how to give out. Do the best I can. DeadlineLive.info. We're waiting for Splitting the Sky to join us on the broadcast today. We had given him the number to call us, so we hope everything's okay. He was arrested in front of the world, attempting to arrest George W. Bush as he went up and visited Canada. Giant protest up there, watching the militarized police attack protesters, and then, as Splitting the Sky says, taken to jail and then beaten for his trouble.
Yeah, Splitting the Sky.
It really shows what we're up against. And it doesn't matter what side of the border you're on or where you're at in the world. This is a growing phenomenon. When the people come to redress their grievances, when the people come to demand accountability, they get clobbered and thrown in jail. Well, it's not something that is new to Splitting the Sky. He has been a lifelong activist struggling for justice for the indigenous peoples of the Americas. His Mohawk name is Dakajawea. I believe it's translated into English. You hear him as Splitting the Sky. Born in Buffalo, New York. Colonized, as he says, as John Boncourt. Also become known as John Hill. From the age of 7, Splitting the Sky survived many years in New York foster homes and youth detention centers. Man, what a nightmare that would be. Eventually, he would become the only man convicted as the ringleader of the infamous 1971 Attica State Prison Rebellion in upstate New York, in the course of which 43 inmates were killed. This event was inspired and had inspired several movies: Against the Wall, starring Samuel L. Jackson, Attica with Morgan Freeman, documentaries including Attica, The Ghost of Attica. Splitting the Sky founded an organization to unite all indigenous peoples into a great confederation called the League of Indigenous Sovereign Nations of the Western Hemisphere. In 1995, he was the Sundance chief at Gustafson Lake, British Columbia, and he was involved in the Gustafson Lake standoff, which also was precipitated by a rancher who attempted to evict the Sundancers from what he claimed was his property. Suffice to say, and I can go on and on with this, the man walks the talk. He is not afraid to put himself on the line in order to accomplish justice for all of us. I have had many Native Americans on the program, and I'm always very honored to have them. Growing up in Seattle, I had developed a deep respect for these men. So we are joined now on the program by Splitting the Sky.
Hello, yeah.
Thank you very much for being on the show.
Hello?
Yes, you're on the air, sir.
Hey, Jack, how you doing? Yeah, it's good. I can hardly hear you. I'm going to try to see if I can put on another phone here. Hold on.
Okay, and we'll have Daniel turn me up in your earphone. Can you hear me better now?
Yeah, just a little bit, but it's kind of low. But we'll do the best we can here.
Okay, if it gets to be a problem, maybe we'll try to have you call back. Well, I just want to welcome you in being on this show. I know you've been talking to a lot of people. We're all amazed at what you did in Canada, protesting Bush. You really put yourself on the line, and you did that for all of us. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you, Jack, and thanks to your listeners there. Yeah, it was. I came to a point where I had to decide whether We're just going to keep talking about arresting someone, or trying to enforce law enforcement to do their job. And if they don't do their job, then we have to take the law into our own hand to arrest tyranny in motion.
It seems that they don't even know what their job is.
No, they don't. Except that it seems that it's an automatic condition with them. It's an automatic given that they are protecting the rich and the powerful.
They are the corporate security forces.
That's exactly what they are.
Yeah, much like a Guns for Hire, like Blackwater, who are now becoming their own corporate security force. I mean, we look at DynCorp, we look at Halliburton, we look at Bechtel, we look at Lockheed Martin. I mean, these people have their own private armies now.
Absolutely.
You know, it's funny. I'll tell you a story. I was at the Republican National Convention, and George Bush was about to take the stage inside Madison Square Garden there, and I was out on the street as a reporter, and they had blocked off all the streets. Allegedly, Bush's motorcade was coming up. They weren't even letting in accredited people like myself to get through that. It was as if a gauntlet, a protective street was put together for the president. Obviously, he has a lot of enemies. But the point I was going to make was no one knew what was going on. I was asking police officers, what's happening? I need to get in there and cover this convention. No one knew until I asked the Blackwater people. They knew exactly what was happening.
Yeah. Well, you know, Jack, it's funny. Listen, you know what? I'm going to have to call you back because I can hardly hear you, buddy.
Okay, do that if you would.
Do I have a number for you here?
The same number that you called in. Try back and we'll get a better connection, okay?
Okay, hold on a second. Do me a favor. Just give it to me here.
I can't. I don't think I can give it out over the air. And nor do I think I have it in front of me.
You know what?
You know what you can do is you can try to call back on 512-279-3805. That's our call.
279.
879-3805. My bad. 512-879-3805.
Okay, hold on a second.
Splitting the Sky. We'll go ahead and fill time as he calls us back again. Some phones are a little funky. I think that's what it is. When he comes back, I want him to tell us his specific story of what did happen in Canada and his lifelong commitment to truth and justice and accountability.